All right, everybody, so welcome back to another episode of Colton Posey Fishing. So today we're going to break down my top 5 baits to use this month of June. So stay tuned. This is something you don't want to miss. You getting frustrated yet? Well, you know me, by the end of the day, I'll pull in the hog.
They all fat right there.
Yeah. Wait till you see the color on this fish. Look at this belly. It's a pretty fish. Dude, there is tons of them. They just ain't hooking up for some reason. Got him on. A little better. He's got some fight in him. I got 6-pound test, so.
He's a better fish.
Yeah, you want to grab him? Here, I'll come around the other side.
Break the line.
Coming up. Yeah, he'll make it. I think he'll make it.
Yeah.
They should. We're going to double check though. By the way, he did put Florida strain in this pond. That's exactly what this is. See how big its mouth is?
Yeah.
Compared to the other ones. He's gonna be close. Oh yeah, he made it. 13 and a half. One and a half. Thank you, buddy. A little bit underweight. It's a big one. Is it a giant brown? Oh yeah, that's a big old.
Oh my God, dude.
It's a big old brown.
It's a dinner plate.
Yeah, that's why the ones Brad was catching was. He hit that joker. I mean, I watched him like zoom off the bank to get it. Got some fight in him too. You almost made the cut, sir. Just ain't quite there. See? Now you just tell me when you want me to turn it off.
I want it to run all day.
All day.
All day.
Two directly in front of me, just little bitty parts. That's a better one. I didn't even know he was down there. All I saw was the two tiny ones. Try to get this fluke back here. Yeah, treble hooks. I can't tell. Yeah, he's better. A lot better. Coming around the left side of him. Yeah, he'll make it. Need to get a measurement and a weight though. That isn't that, man. He's the only one I've ever been able to rely on. TC beats him off on that. My dad forgets what a net is. All right, 12 and a half. So same as the other fish. That one was 1 pound, 1 ounce. We need this one to be 1 pound, between 1 pound, 2 ounce, 1 pound, 3 ounce. 15 ounces. 30. 15 and 3/8. So a little underweight. Oh, there's tons of brim over there, dude. That's all these bass are doing. Better one. Ooh, buddy.
Eat it, eat it.
Look. Uh-oh, what did we do? We good? Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, yeah. They're there. Just to see. I mean, we've already threw to what, 2 or 3 bags. Right there, right in front of that rock.
Out of it today, we've thrown only 2 bags.
Well, I mean, that's a lot better than the first time we went to the second pond. All right, everybody, so welcome back. If you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe for more content. I got you covered when it comes to anything bass fishing, especially if you like this kind of content. So either way, let's jump into it. So let's talk about the type of bass that we're going to be chasing in June. So 90% of the time, you've got new bass that have moved out of the creeks from their spawning areas, and they've moved out, you know, to the main lake haunts, docks, stuff like that, riprap, bridges, all that stuff. Pinch points, that's another big key factor. Pinch points. If you don't know what a pinch point is, make sure to go and look at my video talking about pinch points. So either way, the newer bass are going to be easier to catch, okay, obviously, because they haven't really saw everything that we have to throw at these fish. So, you know, they're going to be a little bit easier to catch. They're going to hit pretty much just about anything you throw, whether that's a Texas rig, a moving bait, it doesn't really matter. They're typically going to be easier to, you know, find and catch. So with that being said, we also have another population of bass, right? So the bass who have lived there for years, they move back and spawn, the mamas and the papas. So we have those type of bass too. Now those bass are typically going to be pressured, okay? So they're going to be used to seeing your spinner baits, your chatter baits, your jerk baits, your top water baits, your Texas rigs, all that stuff. Does that mean they're not catchable? Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is you've got to be more in tune with your technique, your presentation, all that stuff, and try to understand a little bit of what's going on. So bass mainly focus on reproduction, and food. And right now we're done with the reproduction side of things. We're on to the food part, okay? So that's where summer comes into play. Everything, the water's warmer. So in return, the bass and whatever they're eating, whether it's shad or crawfish or whatever, the metabolisms of all this stuff's higher. So they're going to be eating more. All of them are going to be eating more. They're going to be feeding a lot quicker, especially if you're on a spotted bass fishery. They are really, really, really going to be aggressive and fast. So on the subject of aggressive and fast, let's talk about the stuff that we can use that is aggressive and fast. So one of the main things that I like to run first thing in the morning, a top water walking bait. Now, here's the thing, guys. I know probably some of y'all are sitting there thinking, well, he's talking about some of the same baits. Yes, I'm talking about some of the same baits, because here's the thing. I'm not representing any companies, therefore I don't have the need or feel the need, even if I was, to sit there and tell you use this bait, use this bait, use this bait, just because a company's paying me to say it, okay? These are the baits that I use throughout the month of June 99% of the time. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of off stuff, and we're going to cover that, but either way, I'm not going to sit here and just give y'all a bunch of baits that, you know, I'm not using in the month of June just because a company wants me to, okay? That's one of the things that I like about not having to work for, you know, certain companies and stuff like that. So that being said, Strike King Sexy Dog. Y'all hear me talk about this bait a lot. Short shank EWG hook, feather hook right here. I'm working this bait super fast, super fast, okay? So I don't want it just, you know, cadence across the water, you know, large wiggles. I'm literally just working my rod tip, you know, just like that. And with that, this bait in return is going to move a lot quicker, and it's not going to look that great going across the top of the water. But if you've ever saw shad scurry across the top of the water, they're not really in tune and doing this wide cadence and stuff. They're going everywhere, and the bass are in return are just blowing up on them. That's what I'm trying to mimic with this bait right here. Now, on the subject of top water baits, this is one that, you know, you're probably in tune with using, but you probably are not using it exactly like I use it. If you've been watching my stuff for a while, you probably are, and you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, then, you know, you may be working this bait a little bit too slow. This is a Salty Super Fluke, okay? Made by Zoom. What I'm doing is I'm taking a 3/0 Gamakatsu EWG hook, and I'm Texas rigging this bait weightless. I throw mine on a casting rod. Why? Because most of the time I'm throwing this up into deep cover, or I'm throwing it on main lake points and grass, stuff like that. It depends on what's going on. If the water is super slick and calm, if you watched my Fluke Spring Hello Summer video, if you watched that, you saw exactly how I use flukes, okay? I'm throwing that bait out there, super slick, super calm, a lot of pressure. Then I'm kind of working that bait with not necessarily a slow cadence, but, you know, kind of quickly, but I take short little pauses in between. Now, as the day progresses, as you get wind and stuff like that, if they're still on the fluke, I'm working it quicker, especially if they short strike this bait. Anytime you're getting short strikes on a bait, make sure you move that bait quicker, because 99% of the time it doesn't have to do with the color, it's your presentation. And what I mean by presentation is you're just moving too slow. They're getting too good of a look at the bait, especially on those bluebird sunny days, okay? So, you know, the Salty Super Fluke, this is a great choice to mimic bait fish, whether you're fishing a threadfin, gizzard shad, blueback herring, it doesn't matter. This bait will work year-round, especially when they're targeting shad. All you need to do is work on your presentation. So get out and practice with this bait. I promise you'll catch more fish. Now, on the subject of moving baits, okay? This is really the time of year that I pick up a spinnerbait, okay? Now, I do throw a spinnerbait throughout spring, throughout summer, throughout fall, but this specific spinnerbait right here, some of y'all have, you know, thank me a lot for telling y'all about the spinnerbait, and I'm glad that I have, because you will definitely catch more fish on a lake, a river, or whatever with this spinnerbait right here this time of year, okay? This is a spot sticker spinnerbait, okay? As you can tell, this is called the Mini-Me. It's a little bit smaller profile, although don't let it fool you, it's heavy, okay? So this is like a 3/8 ounce, something like that. It's heavy. If you look right here at the hook, it has all the weights right here. What this bait does, it allows me to throw this bait out there and move it super quick, okay? I can throw this bait and move it super quick without it rolling over on its back, its side, all that stuff that we hate that comes with spinner baits, especially when fish are moving quicker and they want the spinner bait quicker. This bait right here is not gonna roll and stuff. They have a bend in the wire right here, which allows it to stay more sleek, more tight profile. So most of the time your hookup ratio is going to be a lot better. And like I said, you can move that bait a lot faster. You know, I stick to the natural colors. Bluebird Sunny Days, especially if I'm fishing threadfin fisheries, I use this as lavender shad, and then they have tons of other colors to mimic gizzard shad or whatever. But this bait right here is a wonderful bait throwing up against grass, bridge pillars, riprap, any of that stuff, any place that you can find shad, okay? Early in the morning, if you know, maybe they're missing the fluke, maybe they're not necessarily hitting your top water, you can throw this bait a lot of times and really catch them, especially in the middle of the day. This is a little key thing. If you want to keep moving in the middle of the day and not have to worry about dragging a worm across bottom, sometimes there's exceptions to where that's all you can get them to hit, but 90% of the time you can throw this bait right here, trick them into biting. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. Now, staying on the subject of shad, another one that I don't see a whole lot of people run this time of year, and you should be, jerk baits. Jerk baits are a great option this time of year, hard and soft. Now, why would I throw a hard jerk bait over a soft jerk bait like the fluke? 99% of the time when I'm throwing a hard jerk bait, we've either got a lot of wind, or either we've got, you know, kind of a cloudy day with a lot of wind. So when there's a lot of wind, I typically throw a hard jerk bait, okay? And as you saw in my video, when I was up at Smith Lake, what video was it? Either way, it'll be linked down in the description or at the end of the video. It'll be linked at the end of the video. I'll just do it that way. But, you know, this bait right here, I'm moving it super quick. Super quick. If you saw how I worked it, you'd be like, there is no way that that's going to work. It does. It works very well, and it's a very tricky way to catch these fish who are pressured a lot because they're not used to seeing this bait act like that. It's a very aggressive reaction style technique that you will be using with this bait, and it just triggers a lot of bites. It's that hot potato theory I talk about, where you throw that bait out there and you're moving it so fast they don't really have time to think about it or have a good look at it. They just react, okay? It's like if I throw something at you, you know, you're typically going to reach out and catch it even though if you don't want to catch it, okay? So it's just a reaction style bite that's just, it's fun, okay? It's so much fun. You got to give it a try. Work this bait super fast. Like I say, if you make 10 casts and your arm's not burning, you ain't running it fast enough, okay? I understand you get wore out, but I'm telling you, it's a loads of fun. You can load the boat up quick with it. This is this jerk bait right here is a Berkley Stunna. I run the Stunna, and I also run the Megabass 110 Junior. Now, the final one we're going to talk about is not predominantly just about spotted bass, okay? So a lot of people think that when you're fishing herring lakes and spotted bass and stuff like that, you typically want to go with a shaky head. It's not a bad thing, okay? But don't let it fool you. Largemouth fisheries are great for shaky heads also, especially dockfish, brushfish, any type of places like that. Your points, I mean, everywhere you would typically fish in the summer, a shaky head is going to work well also, and it's typically great for those pressured fish. Now, I throw mine on a spinning rod. I run 8-pound Seaguar red label fluorocarbon, but I run to a 10-pound braided leader, okay? That way, you know, my line's not just twisting up, okay? Or fluorocarbon leader, I'm sorry, not braided leader. So, you know, I've got 99% of my reel spooled up with braided line, 10-pound braided line, and then I'm running the other, you know, 30 foot or something like that with the 8-pound fluorocarbon. And, you know, it just eliminates a lot of stretch, and then I also have more sensitivity when it comes to my rods and stuff. So, you know, that's typically what I'm going to run. So shaky head, I typically run the 3/16 ounce. This is a great option for, it's not too slow, it's not too fast. I can fish anywhere from 0 to, you know, 60 foot of water. This is a spot sticker shaky head, okay? So the reason I like the spot sticker, it's got the 90-degree line tie. Okay, so it comes through wood, it comes through rock, it comes through grass more efficiently. I run 2 different styles. I run the screw lock, which is right there in the middle, and then I run the one where it's just a regular where you slide it up, twist it up. Now, there's a difference, and there's a reason that I run 2 separate ones. This one right here is going to fall more straight. Okay, so when I rig this bait up, it's gonna fall straight down. Okay, now the other one where I have to twist it up like I'm Texas rigging, it's gonna have a curve in the worm, and a lot of times that curve in the worm triggers a reaction strike, because when that bait falls, it's gonna spin like this, and it's something a little different, a little subtle, that you know, just triggers a lot more bites on the fall. Now the shaky head worms that I typically use, I buy the Magnum shaky head Zoom. Magnum shaky head worms. This watermelon seed color. I typically keep 3 colors in my boat. I have watermelon seed, I have green pumpkin, and I have June bug. That's it. 3 different colors. What I typically do, I buy 2 packs, put 2 packs into 1 pack, and then I'm good for a long time. But this is a great technique. The Magnum shaky head worm seems to get more bites because more people are running a smaller profile shaky head worm, which is fine. But it seems to me like the Magnum shaky head worms, it's not something that they see a whole lot, the Magnum size. So with that being said, it seems like it triggers more strikes, and I get a lot of big bites on this. Now, with that being said, with shaky heads, understand there's a couple different techniques you can use when you're using shaky head. You can drag the worm and shake it a little bit. What I prefer to do, I let that bait fall. Once it hits bottom and I have slack line, I sit there and shake the bait on slack line, and then I'll pick up, reel, let it sit again. Once I get slack line, then I shake that rod tip again, and it gives that tail some action while it's just sitting there. And a lot of times it triggers some, you know, great bites that you typically wouldn't get. So either way, guys, I really appreciate you stopping by. If the video helps you, make sure to like, subscribe for more content. I got you covered when it comes to anything bass fishing. This horsefly is about to drive me nuts. So either way, guys, I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.